So we are on hour 22 of our 100-hour trip. It's 11:30. We're at Disney Springs. We had our great breakfast this morning at Art Smith's. I wanted to talk a little bit about last night because by the time we got home, it was 12:30 and we were both exhausted because it had been a long day. So I just want to summarize today a little bit about yesterday first. So we woke up early around 4 o'clock. We got to the airport for a little after 5. We had a 7:25 flight. It was on time. Everything went great. We had a layover after about an hour in Baltimore. We got on that, no problem, and then there was a small delay because they had to get a new flight attendant because ours wasn't feeling great. And then it took a little while to taxi off and to taxi into the new airport when we get to Orlando. So we got an Uber, absolutely no problem. We packed for this trip very light. We brought 2 personal bags, a backpack, and I had a tote, and then we had 2 small carry-ons, and we packed an expandable bag to bring home because we knew we might buy some souvenirs, and that was in Brian's backpack. So we actually ended up getting to the hotel fairly easy. Uber came right away. I think we waited less than 10 minutes. We found where we take the Uber, very easy with the ride pickups. And when we got to the Dolphin, our room was ready. We have a great room, which you can see on the little mini room tour that we're going to either include or it will be in the link in the bottom of our description. And then we just got ready. We were a little late leaving the hotel room because I had this great idea. Brian and I went as Daisy and Donald Duck, really simple. We knew it was going to be hot. And I kind of was thinking I should have been more creative, but once I mentioned Donald to Brian, I think he was like, good, that's great, we're going to do it. And so I had this idea that I was going to do the fake eyelashes, which I never have done, and I didn't want to use glue because I didn't want to pull out my eyelashes. So I decided I was going to do these magnetic eyelashes that had great reviews on Amazon, and it took me like 15 minutes to figure it out, and then I just couldn't get them to stay on my eyelashes right. They were all wonky. It was kind of crazy, so I just said, to heck with it. So we left. And that's when we headed over to the Polynesian. Staying at the Dolphin, you have the option of taking the boats, the friendship boats, but you also have the option of taking one of 3 buses they provide. They have one that goes to Disney Springs, one that goes to Animal Kingdom, and then one that goes to the Ticket and Transportation Center. And that ended up being perfect for us because we were going to the Polynesian to have something to eat. So the bus took us right there. We got off the bus and we were saying, ooh, we could walk right over to the Polynesian. The new Wailulu is actually at the other side of the Polynesian versus where the Ticket and Transportation borders. But it's not that great a walk. But we went back and forth for a split second and we decided let's just get on the monorail. And we waited a bit before we could get on the monorail. It took a while to go. But we got to Wailulu. I was stressed out, so I'm like a go, let's get there type of person. And now that we have this channel, I've got to slow down and realize we've got to get all this footage so that we have it for posterity, which Brian's always been that way. So I was stressing a little bit, but it worked out perfect. We got to Wailulu. We got there, so we left our hotel. It was around 1:15. No, it was around 2. And then we got to the Poly. By the time we got in the restaurant, it was like 2:30. We got out of there by 3:30. We ended up getting, by the time everything was said and done, we got to Magic Kingdom at just like 5 or 7 past 4 o'clock. Important thing to note when you go to the Halloween party, go all the way to the right. At 4 o'clock, they're still letting regular visitors come in, and you have to have a park pass reservation, a park day reservation for that. Just go all the way to the right. And we were able to get through pretty quickly. And So mistake we made was when you go into the park, if you are attending the party, you automatically get your wristband when you enter the park gates. But then as you're going through, get your map. At the confectionery at the bottom of Main Street, you go to the right and you go down there to get your trick-or-treat bag, your first candy, and that's where they have cool Mother Gothel or Cruella DeVille there doing some talking to all the guests. And I wanted to do that. I just thought that we had time to go back. We were not prioritizing trick-or-treating. We were going to save it to the end. And I knew we could get bags at different locations. And I knew I wanted to see those characters, but I thought I had more time. What we did was we ended up going to Pirates of the Caribbean, and when we got out, unfortunately, because of a thunderstorm that happened right when we were entering the park, and we got soaked, we actually went to go on to go see the Country Bear Jamboree because it's now redone with more modern Disney songs. And when we went to go to it, they said that the attraction was down. We went on the wait times on the My Disney Experience app. Everything was down. So there was some kind of power surge related to the thunderstorm. And as a result, teacups were open, the carousel was open, but at a certain point, there was actually nothing else open. This was probably around 4:30. There was nothing else open. There was the bell, Enchanted Bell Tales, because you can do the story. There was very few things. So that has us back a little bit, but overall our night went really well. We just kind of said, okay, what can we do now? We kept watching the wait times. Tron opened up. I got on Tron. We went on Haunted Mansion. We went on Tiana's, which was one of the first ones to open up, which was great. So we went on Pirates. We went on the People Mover. We got the rides that we really knew that we'd enjoy. Then, Mine Train. We went on that. So we really had no disappointments. We didn't get to see the Country Bear Jamboree, but I was a little sad it was changed anyway. We saw the parade. Brian saw it twice while I was on Tron. He saw it the first time. And we saw the fireworks. The Sanderson Sisters show, that actually had to get stopped because of technical difficulties. I'm not sure if the second one at midnight ran because we left just before that after the second parade. But we had a great night. We both talked about, is it worth it? I say yes. Even with us having a disrupted party, not really necessarily getting everything out of it that we could have because we were a little more raced to get on some of the rides. Maybe would have gotten a few more in if they hadn't gone down. And we didn't see the Sanderson Sisters show. You can get in at 4 o'clock for the value of getting the extra characters walking around. The parade and the fireworks are the best I've seen. I hear about projections. I've seen some small projections on castles and things before, but I never saw anything like I did at the fireworks show last night, the Mickey Spectacular. And so I do highly recommend it. Have a plan and also make that plan be one that prioritizes specific things. There's no way you can get everything done. There's no way you can taste all the food that you want. We did make the mistake of thinking that we can go back and get a couple of things, and a couple of the kiosks, like the luncheon pad, closed early. And so I didn't get my skull cake, and that does sell out early, and that's supposed to be a great dessert. And like I was kind of leading up to before, we never get to see Mother Gothel. They close at 8, so check your times. When you're making your itinerary, check the times. Not everything is open to the same time, and that makes a big difference for you if it's something that you really want to do. You want to prioritize the most important. Meet and greet, snacks, rides. Rides shouldn't always be the top thing when you go for these parties because there's so many one-of-a-kind things that you get at the party. But we weren't going to the park any other day this week. We hadn't been in a few years for us, so I wanted to see the Tiana's Bayou. I wanted to do Tron. We couldn't not. How can you not do Haunted Mansion? And that was amazing. So overall, it was great. We got in what we really wanted to do. Today we got up, we had our plan. We're going to Disney Springs, and we had our brunch at Smith's, which we loved. I'll talk about that a little more in another video, but that was fantastic. And now we're just going to spend the day around Disney Springs before we head to our next stop.